The Miami Heat play more zone defense than any team in the league, and in today's NBA, that really shouldn't work. Offenses are built around spacing, shooting, and ball movement, the exact things that are supposed to destroy a zone. But somehow Miami has turned it into one of the most disruptive defenses in the league. So in this video, we're breaking down exactly how their zone works, why it's causing so many problems for NBA offenses, and why it might make Miami one of the most dangerous teams headed into the playoffs. Let's dive in. At its core, Miami plays a 2-3 zone, but what makes it special is how they use it on the perimeter. Their guards and wings are constantly bumping into passing lanes and hunting deflections, while still taking away those threes. And that really short circuits a lot of NBA offenses, because so much of the league today is built around quick ball movement trying to generate open threes or closeouts to attack. But Miami's zone makes those reads really uncomfortable, and here's how they're doing it. The wings of their zone are responsible for any wing shot or pass. So when Davion Mitchell sprints out to the wing, he doesn't just take away a three, he also plays the passing lane to the corner and gets the deflection. And that's the key. Miami's defenders are constantly bumping into those corner passing lanes with their arm, their body, and even their feet. Meanwhile, the guard is coming back to take the ball. I mean, the Hornets even throw the ball out of bounds just trying to get it around Bam. And yes, even the guards at the top of the zone are angling their stance so they get a hand in the passing lane. So right away, the offense is dealing with a major problem. All the easy passes are disrupted. And when that happens, offenses start to feel like the best option is just to put the ball on the floor and drive it. But when you do that, you're driving straight into the second strength of the Miami zone, their rim protection. Usually Miami only goes to this defense when Kel'el Ware is on the floor, and it allows the Heat to anchor him right near the basket. So while the perimeter defenders are disrupting passing lanes and taking away threes, well, Ware is sitting right at the rim, making sure nothing easy happens inside. You can see in this possession, Detroit tries to attack the baseline. Ware is already there waiting at the rim, so Robinson has to kick it to the opposite corner. Now the Heat run the shooter off the line, and the Pistons are faced with Ware again at the rim, which turns two drives into a contested three from Cade. That sequence really shows how the zone works. The guards and wings disrupting the perimeter, and Ware and sometimes even Bam erasing the rim, which leads to the third strength of the Miami zone, because if you can't move the ball freely on the perimeter and you can't get easy layups, well, you end up living in the mid-range, and that's exactly what Miami wants you to do. Modern NBA offenses are built around threes and layups, so when you force teams to operate in that mid-range area, it really disrupts their rhythm. Because of course every middle school coach knows to beat the 2-3 zone, you get the ball to the high post. But that's exactly what Miami wants you to do. Try and operate from that mid-range area. So often those looks turn into some of the worst shots in the game. Short pull-ups, push shots, and mid-range jumpers. And long gone are the days of those mid-range assassins in the league. Not to mention the fact it's unique for NBA players to see so much zone against them. The changeup itself can throw teams off. It's almost like throwing a curveball after a bunch of fastballs. NBA offenses get so used to attacking man-to-man, when Miami suddenly drops into a zone, well, you'll see possessions where teams hesitate, make awkward passes, and turn the ball over in ways you almost never see. So Miami is disrupting the perimeter, they have rim protection anchored, they're funneling offenses into the mid-range, and they're effectively breaking an offense's rhythm. But there's still one more piece that we haven't even mentioned, because if you try and isolate on the perimeter, well, you're basically looking at multiple defenders already loaded up in the gaps. Again, taking away one of the key strengths of NBA players, their isolation packages. But now the Miami Heat are shrinking space, taking away driving lanes, and making it really difficult for ball handlers to even penetrate the paint. But those gaps aren't just about stopping drives, they're also dangerous, getting swipes and deflections, which leads to the final question and the final piece of this puzzle. In a league that prioritizes three-point shooting so heavily, how can Miami get away with sagging in the gaps? Well, we already saw how they force tougher passes with their angles, but what we haven't mentioned yet is their aggressive closeouts. Miami is not afraid to run shooters off the line, fly by, or even contest at the point of release. A lot of times, they'll even be the second jumper, meaning they leave their feet after the shooter has already started their shooting motion, just to get an even harder contest at that release. And that really matters to their defense, because while the NBA loves three-point shots analytically, there's actually a big difference between contested and uncontested threes. And this season alone, players are shooting 40% on open threes, but only 33% on contested ones. And Miami gives up the second most contested threes in the league. So while they might be giving up threes, they're rarely deadly ones. And when you step back and look at the whole picture, you start to see how all the pieces of this defense fit together. The perimeter defenders are disrupting ball movement and taking away easy passes. The rim protection is eliminating layups at the basket. The gaps in the zone are shrinking space and creating deflections. And the aggressive closeouts are turning what should be good three-point looks into heavily contested shots. So offenses end up stuck in the one area of the floor modern teams really don't want to live in, the mid-range. And when you combine all that with the simple fact NBA teams simply aren't used to seeing this much zone, it creates a defensive changeup that can really throw teams off their rhythm. It's the basketball equivalent of a curveball. And if that sounds familiar, it should, because just last year we saw Indiana make a playoff run behind a defensive wrinkle of their own, their full court pressure. And Miami might just have something similar up their sleeve this year. A defense that disrupts rhythm, forces uncomfortable shots, and gives them a unique weapon, which is why this zone might quietly be one of the most important defenses to watch headed into the postseason. Thanks so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe to hear the latest news on the Lockdown Defense camps coming this summer. And if you want to train these skills and go further than breakdowns, that's exactly what we have inside the Lockdown Academy. Built for players who want to take their defense to the next level, put in work to become an impactful player, and turn concepts into game-changing habits. Check out the link below today to join, and I'll see you there. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for even more defensive breakdowns. As always, I'm Coach Mike with Lockdown Defense. Keep up the hard work.